Good afternoon, boys and girls. We are going to read another lesson in the ancient Rome, and it's called The Decline of the Roman Empire. That is an intriguing name to me, especially when we look over our vocabulary and we have the word decline, and it means the process of becoming worse, a downward movement of something, a decrease in the amount, number, or quality of something. So if we have a decrease in the ancient Roman Empire, that's intriguing. Hordes, enormous groups of people or crowds. Invasion, the act of entering a place by force to take control or power over it. Mercenaries, soldiers who will fight for any person or country that pays them. Witnessed, saw an action as it was being done if you observed it. All of those vocabulary words sound a little bit ominous to me. Make me think that something that's not fabulous for ancient Rome was coming up. You remember Emperor Augustus Caesar and the new empire, the form of Roman government? Augustus, or Octavian, was Julius Caesar's adopted son who decided to take his adopted father's name of Caesar. If you were to describe Augustus Caesar, how would you describe him? He was the emperor. Many soldiers and generals were very loyal to him. Many people respected him. He was rich. He could make those who were loyal to him rich. His name, Augustus, means illustrious one or one who is famous. He enacted the time of Pax Romana, or the 200-year period of peace in Rome. But we are now going to be talking about the decline of the Roman Empire. Remember, a decline is a downward movement of something, the opposite of an incline, or the decrease in the amount, number, or quality. A hill can be a decline if it slopes downward, or there can be a decline in someone's health if they are sick. So let's read really carefully and find out what this decline of the Roman Empire is all about. Ask yourself, is there a Roman Empire right now? If there's not a Roman Empire right now, what happened to it? Let's see if we can figure this out. It is time to imagine once again that you are a citizen of ancient Rome. Imagine that you are an older Roman, such as this woman in the image, who lived 500 years after the beginning of the Roman Empire, under the Emperor Augustus Caesar. You come from a proud Roman family, able to trace your roots back to the kings who ruled before the Roman Republic. You live with your family, children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, nieces, nephews, and slaves in a large home in the heart of the city. If you are from a wealthy family that owns slaves, are you a patrician or a plebeian? You would be a patrician. As a wealthy patrician, you are well educated. You know Rome's history. You know everything there is to know about Julius Caesar, Augustus Caesar, and the Roman emperors who came after them. Ever since the first emperor, Augustus Caesar, every emperor of Rome has always included the name Augustus and Caesar in his full name. And you know exactly why. Because the names Caesar and Augustus represent the best of Rome. To you, Caesar means law and order, courage and responsibility. As a proud Roman, you still honor and respect the name of Caesar, even though you have no respect for the man who currently is the emperor of Rome. What dictator originally had the name Caesar? Julius Caesar, that's right. Tonight, you are sitting on the veranda of your domus as you do every night. Normally, you would enjoy the view of your beloved city, watching the sunset over the beautiful buildings and crowded streets. On this evening, however, there are tears in your eyes. What do you see back here in the background? I see smoke coming out of these houses. Instead of a sunset, oh my goodness, what do you think that smoke is from? Normally, you would hear the pleasant conversations of your neighbors in the streets below, and you would hear your grandchildren playing in the gardens around your domus. Instead, tonight you hear frightening sounds that you hope never to hear again, sounds that strike terror and sadness in your heart. You hear the sounds of warfare. Does this sound like Pax Romana? Is this Roman peace? Does it sound like there is still Roman peace? You know what that sound is and looks like when a city is invaded by a foreign army, because you witnessed the Visigoth invasion when the Visigoth tribes invaded all the way from Germany. You watched as the invading army stormed the city walls and streets, stealing everything that they could carry and breaking or burning everything else. Here are Visigoths taking everything that they could. The armed soldier on the horseback and the soldier atop the stairs are Visigoths. These are the Visigoths that invaded Rome, and another group of Romans that the Romans referred to as barbarians. So not only Vercingetorix and the Gauls, but the Visigoths, the Romans considered barbarians. You also witnessed a frightful, fearsome enemy called the Huns, who were led by a general named Attila, invade from the east, all the way in Asia, not Europe, but Asia. He roared across Germany and invaded Roman territories. The Huns were famous horsemen, and they left a trail of destruction everywhere they went. Eventually, Attila made it all the way to Italy, but fortunately for Rome, he and his armies didn't reach Rome. To make matters worse, as Attila the Hun was invading Europe, countless people were forced to move away from their homes. They found themselves squeezed between Attila the Hun and the Roman Empire, and most of them decided that they would have better luck finding a new home in Roman territory rather than trying to defeat Attila and his hordes. One of these tribes, the Vandals, had been forced from the Germanic region. The Vandals invaded parts of the Roman Empire in Gaul, Spain, and northern Africa. So they're coming from what is Germany through France and Spain and northern Africa over to Carthage again. Oh my goodness. They conquered the city of Carthage, and then they turned attention to Rome itself. The Vandals crossed the Mediterranean from Africa and invaded Italy. The Vandals pushed their way deep into the heart of Italy. Thousands of them descended upon the city of Rome, and their only goal was to destroy it. Luckily, most of your family members had time to leave their homes before the Vandals' invasion. Some will go to the island of Sicily. They may not be safe there either, because the Vandals seem to be everywhere in nearby Italy. Most of your family will head east, sailing across the sea to the city of Constantinople. There you and your family hope to make a new start. As the Vandals move closer to your home, you wonder to yourself, where are the powerful Roman legions of old? Why are there no legionaries to protect us? Long gone are the proud Roman legions under the leadership of Julius Caesar. The sad fact is that you know exactly how this happened. You've expected it for many years. So much has changed since the days of Augustus Caesar. The Pax Romana, Roman peace, brought 200 years of peace and prosperity throughout the empire, but it also changed the way Romans lived and governed their lands. Maintaining legionaries is expensive. It costs a lot to train, feed, and arm thousands of soldiers all over the vast Roman Empire. To save money, Roman emperors and generals hired mercenaries, soldiers who will fight for any country or group for money, and many of these soldiers were not even Roman citizens. Instead of relying on hordes of Roman legionaries, Rome had come to rely on a smaller amount of mercenaries, the very people they thought of as barbarians, to fight for Rome. When Attila the Hun and other invaders threatened the Roman provinces, these mercenaries were not willing to fight and die to protect Rome because they were not true Roman citizens. Sometimes you think maybe the emperors and senators have become just as bad as the mercenaries and other people who have been called barbarians. Many seem so greedy and selfish, not thinking about what is best for Rome. For years, they have drained Rome's resources to pay for their games, their feasts, and monuments to themselves. All the while, these leaders failed to prepare for the enemy invaders. This unfortunate time reminds you of a legend that you know well. An old emperor named Nero. He was ruler of Rome several emperors after Augustus Caesar. Under Nero's rule, most of Rome was destroyed by what came to be remembered as the Great Fire of Rome. The fire started in the market near the Circus Maximus, but it quickly spread and destroyed most of the city. According to legend, Emperor Nero, a man who greatly favored the arts and music, fiddled while Rome burned. Some historians believe this means that Nero may have been singing and playing the lyre, a harp-like instrument, while Rome burned. Is that what you would expect a leader to do if his city was on fire? Some people even believe that he started the fire himself. In your mind, this legend is a good symbol for what is happening right now with the Vandals. With the decline of Roman leadership, it's not too surprising to see the Vandals climbing the city's crumbling walls. For years, the barbarian hordes have been gathering in all directions, preparing for invasion. Instead of dealing with Rome's threats, the last several emperors of Rome have also fiddled while Rome burned, meaning that they have ignored the real problems of Rome while continuing on with their own normal activities as if nothing was wrong. The term fiddling has also come to mean fooling around and wasting time. And the saying fiddling while Rome burned is used to describe someone who is fooling around when they should be doing something else that is much more important. You think to yourself, what has happened to the citizens of Rome? The once mighty citizens of Rome seem weak and lazy now. They only want to watch gladiator games at the Colosseum and wait for the emperor's bakers to throw them a few loaves of bread. Children barely learn their history anymore. Rarely do children understand or care about the significant history of Rome and how it came to be so powerful. Therefore, they do not look forward to fighting for the greatness of Rome in battles just as their ancestors did. Sometimes you think to yourself that maybe, just maybe, the invasion of the Vandals is for the best. Maybe it is time to tear down Rome and start all over again. Maybe a new, stronger Rome will arise from the ashes. Have you ever heard of bread and circuses? Do you remember why bread and circuses was started? Because the patricians were afraid that all of the plebeians would become unhappy and overthrow them because there were so many plebeians. So what they did is they made a big party every day and fed the people. So, what type of government did Rome have during this time of decline that you heard about? They had an empire. Were all of Rome's emperors favored by the people? No, there were some that the people definitely did not favor. Was Nero favored or not favored by the people of Rome? Not favored. And what does legend say that he did while the city of Rome was burning? It says he fiddled, or he played a lyre, which is like a harp. You heard about the invasions of 3 hordes or large groups of people in today's Read Aloud that invaded the Roman Empire during this time of decline. The Visigoths, the Huns, and the Vandals. Why do you think these people that the Romans called uncivilized barbarians were invading Rome? It was evident to outsiders that Rome was in a decline or becoming weaker. Stronger armies took advantage of this as they sought to expand their territories. So the Visigoths wanted to expand into Rome, the Huns wanted to expand into Rome, and the Vandals wanted to expand into Roman territory. What are mercenaries? Mercenaries are soldiers who will fight for any country or any king if you pay them enough money. Why did the Romans hire mercenaries? Well, the Romans hired smaller groups of fighters to save money by not training, feeding, and arming their own citizens and armies. And were the mercenaries effective in defending Rome? No. What are some of the things that the character in the Read Aloud witnessed that led her to believe that Rome had changed for the worse? Many emperors and senators had become greedy and selfish. Real problems were ignored. Rome hired mercenaries instead of having its own army of citizens. And the citizens of Rome seemed weak and lazy. Children barely knew their history of Rome's greatness or power. Who is associated with the saying, fiddling while Rome burned? Emperor Nero. And what does this saying mean today? It means that someone is ignoring real problems that are going on around them and not doing anything serious to help solve the problem. Instead, they're fooling around or continuing on with their normal activities as if nothing were wrong. Why do you think the character in the Read Aloud today says, maybe it is time to tear down Rome and start all over again? I think she's looking at Rome and the decline of Rome as an empire and the many things that have changed to make Rome weaker than it used to be. Maybe starting all over would make a newer, stronger Rome.